Hi everyone, this is lecture 33. Uh, by now, I think you heard the news that we are going to. By the way, this is the first day of May, and just a couple of days ago, the Yonsei University announced that it's gonna be online lecture until to the last end of this semester. Sadly enough, it's very unlikely at this point to meet you student face to face, and we are going to do this until the end of June. So hopefully we can meet somewhere in the campus. Okay, I'm gonna buy you jjajangmyeon or something in summer if everything goes okay and coronavirus is not pandemic anymore. But anyway, until the end of June, we wouldn't be able to meet. But anyway, the class should continue, and we have a new topic after the property right and contract theory, those two big themes. The third big theme would be tort. I mean, do you have any idea what the word tort means? Uh, the book says the word tort came from French. And honestly, it's very vague and it cannot be properly translated into Korean word. But after reading it, I think the best description of tort would be law concerning the accident. That is tort. Once again, this is chapter 6 and 7. So if you reading the chapter 6 and 7 posted by Professor Kuto and Ulen, it would be helping. As usual, the chapter 6 begins with 3 examples of possible legal case. Example 1. Joe Potato, a male, has been driven to distraction by the escapades of his wife, Joanne Potato. So Joe Potato thinks that maybe his wife, Joan Potato, has a boyfriend and not faithful. He thinks, at least. At the end of a hard night's work at the loading dock, so Joe Potato's work is loading things on the dock. Joe is, this is Joe, okay? Joe is approached by Jim Block, suspecting then that Jim has been romancing his wife Joanne. Joe inserts and strikes him, punch him, in a word, and breaking the nose of Jim. Well, of course, Jim would sue Joe and Joe should pay Jim. This is not really accident. This is a little bit violence. One thing I want to explain at this point, even though I'm doing again later, that there's a fine line between this tort and criminal law. Okay, why don't I go there? The criminal intention, because someone want to hurt someone, and then if it's something like crime, and the fact that Joe Potato hit Jim Block may ended up criminal intention, criminal law. Then what's the difference? Then it's not the Jim who was hit to sue Joe, but the government prosecutor is going to sue Joe if it is a crime. Okay? Because in crime, the victim here, the Jim Potato, may die. Then if it's not the government, nobody is going to ask the responsibility to Joe Potato who hit Jim to die. So Anyway, it is the police and prosecutor and the government job to punish the criminals when the criminals hurt someone. Okay. On the other hand, the accident has no criminal intention. So it's more like the government would not intervene, and the person who had the damage, who received the damage from the violent party, would sue and get a monetary compensation. The criminal law, it's usually you go to jail, punished, and things like that. But civil law is something that you are going to get paid for the hospital fee and things like that. Therefore, if we go back to this example of Joe Potato and Jim Bullock's case, Joe Potato clearly punched Jim and Jim got hurt. So Joe may also be charged for the criminal law. However, from Jim's point of view, it's one thing for Joe Potato to go to jail, but Jim went to the hospital. He could not work for several days. The hospital charged him money, medical treatment, and things like that. So not only Joe Potato go to jail or something, Joe Potato should pay money to me. So that, in that case, that's tort. Okay, it's not really accident, but anyway, it's criminal, but also accidentally damage has happened, and that is a part of tort. Okay. Second example, example 2. 3 hunters go into the woods after pheasants. So, pheasants is a bird. Korean word is gwang. So they want to catch a pheasant. They are spread out in a straggling line about 25 yards apart. 25 yards would be like 7-8 meters, walking in the same direction. So it's like 3 friends going to this way together kind of thing. Okay? And then when they are moving like to the front, there is a pheasant. The hunter in the center flushes a bird. So this black one in the middle, that is a hunter, 3 hunters. And in front of this black middle hunter, a pheasant flies up, flushes a bird that flies up. Its wings pounding, like something like that, with the sounds. The hunters to his left and right, okay, turn toward the birds. But then these clumsy hunters, they couldn't shoot the bird. The bird escaped. Bird has escaped. But, oh my God, I don't like this. The hunter in the middle got blinded because one of the shots got into his eyes and he cannot see things anymore. So severely handicapped from now on. One of the 2 hunters certainly causes the harm. So from scientific analysis, I don't know how, just it's not both. It's not like the right hunter hit the right eye, left hunter hit the left eye. Just either right or left, one of them hit both eyes. Okay? But there is no way to determine which one of them was the one who hit the eye. And of course, the hunter in the middle, somebody hit me, it's one of them, the right or left, and he sued both. So, it's complicated. But anyway, this is clearly an accident. Of course, if the 2 hunters, right and left, did it intentionally or they have this criminal intention, that's another story. But it sounds like they didn't, just that it just happened by coincidence. So, so they should pay the person in the middle, but who should it be? I mean, both of them should pay half and half, or because one of them is innocent, they don't have to pay at all. Those things we are going to consider. Example 3. This is a little bit complicated. A manufacturer produces automobile fuel additives. That means automobile fuel is like basically gasoline or diesel gas. Additives means something goes with the gasoline. So that demands careful control over quality. So when you put something into your car at the gas station, it's not just the petroleum you're getting in, but some other chemical stuff. So this manufacturer making that chemical stuff, like Bourgeois shot or something, if quality control is maintained at a very high level, the chemical mixture in the product is correct and it never causes damage to automobile engine. So if the manufacturer take great care of its product, the product is always a perfect and correctly produced, and it would cause any harm to the engine of the car. If, however, quality control is relaxed and allowed to fall to a low level, but if the manufacturer is, what this means is if the manufacturer is lazy, not working very hard, so like, I can be lazy a little bit, but then some of these additives would come out first, but then some batch of the chemical mixture will be flawed. The manufacturer determines that a high level of quality control costs more than the harm to some automobile engines caused by a low quality control. Because what it means, it is making maybe 10,000 additives every month. And in order to make all 10,000 correctly, they have to spend so much money. Maybe as much as like they can buy 5 cars. But if we are lazy. Instead of spending 5 cars worth, we are spending maybe just 1 car's worth. Then definitely out of the 10,000 additives they produce, let's say 3 additives would be flawed. So 3 cars would lose their engine. So the company should buy a new engine for the people. Okay? So in the case, the company may think, if we want to make everything perfect, it would cost us 5 cars. But then if we just be clumsy and reduce the cost, and then 3 cars would go bad, then the cost would be 4 cars, like 1 for the cost management and 3 if the car goes bad. So, instead of costing 5 cars for the high maintenance, we just do the low maintenance and the cost will be 4 cars. Like instead of $5,000, it would be $4,000. So, we don't want to spend too much time and money on that. So they say, we decide to low quality control. So they say, whenever the engine broke down, we are going to buy you a new car. The owner of damaged car, as a result, like you are the unlucky owner of a car, 3 out of 10,000 additive went into your car, so your car's engine broke down, and the company said, I'll buy you the new car because that's what we are prepared. And you said, how dare you produce something that might be flawed with a probability of 3 over 10,000, which is 0.03%. And like buying me a new car is not enough. You should be buying me 2 cars because it should be punitive. I want to punish him. Is it correct? Well, we have to think about it in this tort law. Okay? Personally, I think these examples are not exactly very clear cut. But anyway, I hope you got the sense of where we are heading for with this tort law. Just one more. As I already explained, the accident is a little bit different from criminal intention, but once again, even when it's the crime and punished under criminal law, still it's not enough to punish the criminals. The criminals, if they have money, should pay you back the damage the criminals caused upon you. And sometimes it's not criminals, like a car accident, the person is not drunken, the driver is not drunken, he's perfectly normal, you're perfectly normal, you're working, but still car accident happens, okay? Then it's not criminal intention, it's just a bad luck both for the drivers and the person who was walking, and hit by the car, and still the monetary compensation should be made. Okay. Once again, coming back as an economist. Okay, I remind you, you are economists, not the normal people. Once accident happens, actually, we economists do not care about the past accidents. It's all bygones are bygones. Whatever you do, so you have a car accident, some car hit you, so you are in a hospital. Whatever the compensation you get from the car owner, from the driver, or you might not get, you're already hurt. You're going to be in the hospital for a while. So that wouldn't change. Okay? So whatever the tort law requires the driver to pay you, that does not change the efficiency. But why? It gives a signal to the future. So all the drivers in Korea, yesterday, Mr. Kim's car hit Professor Han, and Professor Han got hospitalized. He cannot do the online lecture anymore. He cannot go to school anymore. His students have a great uncomfort, and maybe the Yonsei University has a replacement teacher and things like that. Okay, so in this case, you have to pay this much. Okay, Professor Han is already hurt, but the future Professor Lee, Professor Park, or any other person, if you are a driver, you hit them, please prepare. You have to pay this much. So you better not be careless. So the terminology we are using is precaution, carefulness. Like we want the people to be careful. That is the purpose of tort law. Okay? When accident, we do not care about the past accident. But by handling them correctly under tort law, we may send a message to the people, you better be careful. Because if you are not careful, you cause some accident, some damage happen to the society, to the other people, then you would be punished or you have to pay this much. Okay? So the precaution level, making people careful, is very, very important to achieving the efficiency of the society. But then, one thing you should keep in mind is that the economists never want to be extremely careful. We want to be efficiently, properly careful, which means if it's very bad, of course, if you are too careless and you are accident prone, wherever you go, you make accident. That's not good. We want to prevent that by punishing you, by sending you a message. If you keep doing that, you are going to punish monetarily because you have to pay so much money to everybody. You'd better not be doing that. You better be more careful. But if someone is too careful, what would happen? Now, coronavirus is spreading all over. And I don't think online lectures, not going out for lunch, is not too careful. But let's say it's not coronavirus problem is solved. But then there are someone who is so afraid of car accident, they never come out. So nobody, and it happens to the majority of Koreans. What would happen? You know what happened to the stores and economy, Korean economy right now? Because people do not come out, nobody buying any, not people buying much less than before. The economy is going dead. Of course, nowadays, do you know that insurance company is making a lot of money nowadays? The economy is going bad, but at least one industry that is making, of course, like a home delivery or like home theater industry, like a cable industry, they're making money. But another industry who is making money is the insurance, because nobody bring their car outside, so there much less car accident. And that's why, and people don't go out, so they are much less accident prone. So people get hurt much less than before. So the accident decrease a lot. So, how to decrease the accident? One way to do it, don't come out of your house. Period. Then maybe 70% accident would disappear. Like situation right now. People may die out of coronavirus, but much less people die out of car accident because people do not come out of their house. However, that's not desirable because, okay, we can reduce the accident, but look at the economy. So we want the people to be careful. They are not to be too careless, but equally, it's not desirable to be if the people are too careful. So finding out the precaution level proper enough so that we reduce the accident so much, but that carefulness would not cause so many other problems. So that is the purpose, objective of this tort law. Okay? What is the purpose of tort law? Making people achieve the proper precaution level. Okay? Okay, we are going to consider next lecture. This has been the lecture 33, and we are doing the tort law. Thank you.